Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, we have a couple of interesting pieces. We have some news regarding the Ripple v SEC lawsuit. We actually have quite a lot of pieces on that. And then we have some more shocker XRP SEC news. It's just, guys, I'm getting tired of it, but okay. We then hopefully have some news regarding the XRP Ledger ecosystem, a little bit of interesting news regarding Luna, and then a couple of, I guess, miscellaneous pieces. Some crazy inflation talk, some NFT hack that I want to kind of warn you guys about, but we'll see, and then a little bit of regulatory talk over in Russia. Let us dive in first of all. The SEC has filed its reply in support of its April 29th letter, claiming that attorney-client privilege protects internal SEC documents relating to Hinman's speech. I would say actually that the last couple of days have been quite exciting for SEC v Ripple, as there's quite a lot of updates that have come out over the last 24 hours, or a little bit more than that. Then we have a lot more documents, I guess. But here's the last two things that came out. Ripple defendants filed motion to compel regarding SEC's deficient responses to Ripple defendants' fourth set of requests for admission. This is basically what was described earlier, where Ripple basically said, hey, SEC, answer our stuff, or we'll go through the court to get answers to more stuff. And then a little bit later, this came out, SEC filed their reply in support of their April 29th letter, so a little while ago, claiming that the attorney-client privilege, which again the SEC has been asserting regarding all the William Hinman emails, protects internal SEC documents related to the speech. So all these emails that were sent beforehand, they all fall under attorney-client privilege. And that again is where everybody's heads start spinning, like we've covered in a previous video. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to claim that right now. And the way in which they're claiming it over in section 2 of their letter is like, well, but it's a little bit his personal opinion, but it's also kind of not. And we can't, following the rules, say whether or not the determination was made, or whether or not it's going to be personal opinion from the get-go, or whether or not there's going to be some sort of further policy inside, and yada, 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 yada. And they basically switched out attorney-client privilege with deliberative process privilege, and they're trying this whole battle all over again, when they're trying to reason for both sides. It's a personal opinion, but it's also a matter that is basically talked about within SEC internally. And again, the reason this is kind of conflicting is because let's say that it's actually William Hinman's personal opinion. Then the attorney-client privilege kind of comes in, sort of, right? Let's say it's not William Hinman's opinion at all. Then the deliberative process privilege can kind of come in. But the fun fact is that the judge already said, nah, it's kind of like a personal opinion. So they're now trying to change it around a little bit by saying, no, this is what we said, ha. And they're trying to figure out another way to then win it, to not give these emails over. Again, it's a court battle, so I understand, but it really doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it. A lot of these deliberations should be out and open to the public anyway, and I don't fully understand exactly why the US doesn't have rules for the SEC to make these things public. So there's no conflict of interest that's not like outed, so to speak. Wrath of Carnaman shared, good to hear. I was continuing reading the reversal. I understand they are trying to put Ripple in a double bind. If you say Hinman's speech was official, then it's privileged. But I thought the judge ruled it was personal. And again, they're trying to basically overrule it now with a different opinion themselves. Jeremy Ogenhall said some interesting words. This request for admission, which is basically Ripple asking the SEC to answer some questions, took me way back to when we learned that the SEC staff bought and sold XRP up through March of 2019. P.S. Let's go, SEC lawyer. You only have 2 hours to file the attorney-client privilege brief. We have seen that now. We talked about that just now, the section 2 and whatnot. That is from this attorney-client privilege brief. This is again about the first update which came out yesterday. So to kind of quickly come back to the point which I read in my earlier video, here's a very interesting little piece. Documenting Ripple shared breaking. Ripple has been meeting with the SEC since 2013 about XRP, but has not been told once that XRP could actually be a security. This is fair notice gold. Indeed, Ripple's 2013 meeting with the SEC and other regulators, throughout this journey, and basically what crypto law / John Deedon also shared before, is Chris Larson in 2013 provided a letter, and they basically could have responded to it, they could have said anything about it, and it's only until 2020 somewhere that they were like, you know what, yeah, we might have some trouble in paradise. Again, if we look right here, even up until October of 2020, the determination on whether or not it was security was not made. And so I think it's really unfair for the SEC to decide that it was a security from all the way back since 2013 or so, even though at that point nobody really knew. Regarding the XRP Ledger update, there's a new thing coming up at least. XRP Ledger pathfinding demo is now finally revealed. It basically says, last night, prominent XPL developer Xrp'S shared a demo of a live pathfinding tool that he coded via Vue.js. The tool is designed to easily and quickly find a payment path between two XP Ledger accounts. Pathfinding in this case is based on the priority of the best price. And he said, coded via Vue.js tool to do live pathfinding on the XP Ledger. Pretty cool to see it in action and open source as well. To use it, you basically need to select the destination account, asset, and amount, and then choose the source account, and the tool will then show him the best payment option to deliver a certain amount. Furthermore, because fresh innovation is provided on WebSocket, it will also auto-update the path options. And even though this is not something which you're going to basically have to deal with every single hour of the day of your life, it's not something necessarily quote-unquote important. It's very important to me to keep showing people and keep kind of talking about and kind of keep up the idea that the XP Ledger is continuously improving. Regardless of whether or not they've gotten sued by the SEC and it's a little bit of an annoying path, they're still here and it's still doing pretty damn well. Again, a very small part of Ripple's business actually plays a role in the US, but even just regarding the XP Ledger, it's continuing on to build, even though they're in a predicament. Then regarding Luna, shocker, leaked documents show Do Kwon dissolved Terra Labs a few days before Luna UST tanked. I just wanted to quickly say it was really interesting to me. The 30th of April, he was like, you know what, let's leave South Korea. The 4th of May, that was done. And then 3 days later, all of a sudden, UST crashed significantly. I don't know, guys, but it is very interesting. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's like I'm a little tinfoil hat guy with all my allegations towards Do Kwon. You know, the more we read into this, the more it looks as if he was running one big scam. He knew it and was trying to get the frick out because some guys maybe already warned him or so. The more I start thinking about how the Bitcoin shenanigans might have also been a little bit of an insider plan. But okay, right? You can't really say too much about that. Many people have been getting really crazy about the idea that Mike Novogratz might also be in on it. Again, I'm actually quoted earlier that he actually lost a lot of money in Luna, but I can't actually confirm that. I can only confirm and say he's lost a lot of money in the last quarter. But I'm not so sure he actually quotes that it's due to Luna that he lost a lot of his money. And people were wondering, hey, Mike Novogratz, did you also know? Did you also sell? And the main reason, by the way, is because John Deaton here, for example, he shared this as well from Watcher Guru. Pantera Capital has confirmed that they sold 80% of the Luna investment before the crash. This is a little bit taken out of context because Pantera basically bought into, I think twice, into a Terra funding round. They spent, I don't know, like millions, I think 1.7 million in total on investments through a $25 million raise and whatnot. And they've sold this 80% over like months and months and months, right? It's not as if they did this just the day before the crash or anything like that. So it's a little bit misguided. But they did sell the last 20% of their Luna at about $25 or so. And I believe that is actually once the crash was already happening. And that is leaving people to wonder, did these bigger capitals know what was kind of coming up and what was going to happen? Even though it's very interesting, we don't have the results. So let's talk about some stuff that we can kind of give an opinion about. Hit like if this doesn't seem logical. All right. By the way, guys, put down below if you guys are still holding on to Luna or if you've given up that ship. And make sure you press the like button if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos. Hit like if this doesn't seem logical. Argentina's inflation hit 55%, but the IMF only agreed to give them $44 billion worth of a loan if they agreed to discourage Bitcoin adoption. It's interesting, but this is happening in multiple different countries. One country, I guess, that is working on some regulation and that is probably not really caring about an IMF loan is Russia, as Russian minister hints at crypto adoption sooner or later. They basically said Russia will inevitably legalize crypto payments, says the trade minister. Quote, the question is when, how it will happen, and how it will be regulated. Now, both the central bank and the government are actively engaged in this, end quote, said Trade Minister Denis Manturov. And so, if we're wondering about that, yeah, it's going pretty well over in Russia for crypto adoption, I would say. And then one small part I wanted to kind of share with you guys regarding NFTs. This apparently famous individual, Seth Green, not exactly sure who that's supposed to be, but hey, it is what it is. Well, friends, it happened to me. Got fished and had 4 NFTs stolen. A Bored Ape Yacht Club, or actually 3 of them, 1 Bored Ape and 2 Mutant Apes, and 1 Doodle, or Friends, or whatever it's called, Doodle. Please don't buy or trade these while I work to resolve. Darkwing, looks like you bought my stolen ape. Hit me up so we can fix. There's one little slight problem with that. I'm not really sure exactly how you can fix this, because even though in the traditional realm of property, it's like, well, it got stolen, so if you buy that, well, it kind of sucks to be you, but the rightful owner will most likely at least get it back, and so forth and so on. In this crypto realm, you know, digital property is a little bit of a difficult one. Try proving that Darkwing actually has your ape, you know? Try proving that he exactly is the guy who bought it from the stolen guy, you know? Another couple of pieces that are difficult is to actually point out that you actually got phished and did not just sell it, for example. Because at the end of the day, what happened is there's official transactions recorded. And it could be that this individual, Seth, even though he did get phished, because I believe that, right, he actually did, quote unquote, sell it on the blockchain for, let's say, $10 to another account. And that account sold it again for $200,000. It could just be that he, for example, right, again, example given, accidentally made a mistake. He sold it for a little bit too less of money. And now he's like, oh no, I got hacked. Oh no, I got phished. You know, it's really hard to prove the case. Then again, even one of the guys from Animoca Brands was actually in this comment section. Went through a similar experience with my son. Hope this thread can be of some assistance. It is just a hard realm, man. Guys, crypto space, it is hard. Specifically, if you lose money, it is a hard one to get your money back from. The article here is also talking about including a Bored Ape stolen from Hollywood actor Seth Green. All I can say about this, guys, is be careful with everything when it comes to connecting your MetaMask, all right? If your NFTs are on your MetaMask, be careful with connecting it anywhere. Very often, it's like the initial connection that sets something forward, that sets something forward, that sets something forward. Usually, it's not the connection you make initially that's really quote-unquote bad. It's what can happen if you start connecting to multiple different things and what they can kind of connect to eventually. Very often, it's like this. An attack transpired when the bad actor sends some form of fraudulent message to trick the victim into revealing sensitive information, typically to breach his computer or phone, and after gaining access, the attacker is able to steal data or deploy malicious software such as ransomware. And as of this point, they're already flagged on OpenSea as reported for suspicious activity, but before obviously not, and somebody bought it already. And that's, again, the crypto space also moves so fast. It's a lot easier to sell something in the crypto space than, I would say, in the traditional realm, because it's so online and nobody really knows until really far away, right? If it's like a piece of jewelry, for example, in real life, like it's going to be really hard to pinpoint that it was stolen or so, because if somebody's offering you a piece of jewelry, you're like, oh, okay, you know, you're not going to think like, oh, is this stolen? How can you figure it out? Unless you really get a crazy news report or you see like a license number. In the crypto space, you'll figure out pretty quickly, but the sell is way quicker because you don't really need all this contact or so. It's like, well, they're selling so many different items. It's like the marketplace system is just a lot quicker and easier, and you don't need to physically interact with one another. But yeah, it's a sad realm. It's a sad realm. All right, guys, but that was it for today's video. Hopefully, you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video, hopefully later today.